That was a really entertaining video from Jim Gaffigan about really where parents are coming from right now. And I think it describes in a humorous way the frustrations that they have, especially when we're talking about parents that have multiple children all on different schedules. So some ways that we might be able to partner with parents and families. I'm sure you guys are doing many of these, but it's always a good thing to remind ourselves to do them. Increase communication. Make sure you're connecting with parents in ways that they receive the information. So if they prefer text communication or email communication, make sure that you're sending it and transmitting information in the way that they're going to be able to receive it best. You might consider a weekly or biweekly newsletter. I think that that's some way of engaging in a way that feels more fun. It can also provide some concrete information around due dates and tips that they might need. They might incorporate to make their child's remote learning experience a little less chaotic or frustrating for them. You might consider asking parents to print out or create visual schedules or other materials for their children or adolescents. And I would really recommend meeting with parents at least one time a month to collaborate with them on any specific concerns. It could even be very brief in nature, but especially if we're going into remote learning through a longer period of time. And I think above all, I think it's really important, that families are excellent allies and can support your instruction by extending children's learning at home, even beyond remote learning. But we also, it's really important that we understand that families have other responsibilities outside of lessons in their children's remote learning experience. Um, and so I think you might even consider making attendance at some of your virtual meetings voluntary, especially if families have other commitments. And if a family misses one or neglects to complete a project, or neglects to have their child complete a project, send a quick note, check in, make sure that they're aware of what was missed, so that they understand what was missed and they can help their child get back on track. Wrapping up, and when you're seeing some parents struggle, so maybe their children aren't attending the scheduled Zoom meetings that you have, or you see frequently see a child having meltdowns periodically because of the remote learning experience. First, offer support, either via yourself or working with a school counseling support staff member, if you feel better with that avenue. But really just communicating that empathic understanding of the parents' frustration. They're trying to have their child learn and engage in remote learning. It can just be a frustrating experience. And so if it becomes so frustrating that the fight or battle to get their child to sit and engage becomes too much, they might just start not doing it at all. And so trying to offer them support to engage as much as possible, and following some of the recommendations previously that were spoken about, as far as engaging children that do have those challenges that interfere with their learning experience. Help parents problem solve regarding their ongoing struggles, provide strategies and suggestions to help increase their learning. You could teach them some of the conscious discipline strategies for emotionally supporting their children that you likely have learned in your process of in your own educational experience as an instructor. And again, be flexible, model adaptability for students and their parents, because that will most likely translate to their remote learning experience as well.